Hi, everybody. It's Alex Jarett with another Technology Leader Briefing. Today, we're going to talk with Richard Doran, who's the founder of Sierra ITS, about a topic called the technology talent market is shifting, not shrinking. Before we get started, be sure to watch this and all of our video briefings and spotlight interviews at technologyexecutivesclub.com. Now, let's get started. Richard, great to see you again. How are you doing?
Alex, great. It's summertime in Chicago, so the city is the best it's going to be.
Yeah, it's vibrant. Boats are out. Everybody's walking around having a good
Yep,
time.
it's
Nothing better
great.
than downtown Chicago in the summer. Love that. So this topic is really interesting. We've all seen these headlines. The technology talent market is shifting, not shrinking. Subtitled, "The layoffs made headlines. The talent shortage never left." Now, what do you mean by that? Explain that real
You,
quickly. What are you actually
yeah,
saying?
it's a really interesting dynamic. The layoff headlines, they don't tell the full story, Alex. Tech layoffs shrink companies, but they don't limit demand. What's happened was layoffs create the noise and people get nervous, but there's not an abundance of proven talent out there, especially the way that technology is moving and the pace that it's moving. I say this to my team all the time that headlines cut, but hiring continues because it's
Interesting.
shifting now from it's really a bifurcated hiring market. You could say technology hiring has really become a two-track market. The market's not equally as strong for every technology role, of course, because
Yeah.
we've seen entry level and repetitive type roles are being eliminated by corporate right sizing, automation, and AI efficiency.
So basically, what you're saying is that we hear this big tech company laid off 5,000, this big tech laid off 10,000. And you could just look at that and say, oh my gosh, the tech market's shrinking. But that's not the case. What you're saying is that the overall market might be changing or even expanding and changing. And the roles are changing. There's a shift. It's almost like a tectonic plate. The market is
Exactly.
shifting, but the jobs are shifting, but they're not necessarily going away. In fact, in some cases, in some markets, what I'm hearing from you is they're actually expanding. Am I hearing
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah, because many of the companies that are making the headlines, those large mega caps, they did aggressive hiring during the pandemic era. So
I
now
remember
what they're
that.
doing is they're really right sizing their workforce. And then at the same time as they're doing that, you've got healthcare organizations, manufacturing organizations, associations, and municipalities
Yeah.
that are coming in and hiring people because they have to go through their own digital transformation and
Just to
automation
stay in the game,
to
right?
stay in the game.
So what you're saying is we've got these big caps during the pandemic. They hired everybody because of everything that was going on. And now they're right sizing, but the mid market is where you're seeing a lot of growth. Healthcare, manufacturing, all the mid market.
Yeah, we get a phone call or two a week from mid-sized to large manufacturing firms that are doing ERP transformations, enabling a lot more cloud activity in their world, and then just the whole AI influence on what can we do to make our customer experience more seamless and frictionless.
That makes sense. Where are the growth niches that you're seeing, or these sub markets that you're seeing?
Sure, Alex. Where we're seeing it is in healthcare, mid to large size manufacturing firms, as well as associations and municipalities.
Those last ones are actually pretty interesting. Yeah. But manufacturing, I would have suspected that. And healthcare, of course, healthcare seems like it's always growing. Financial service, I think you were talking about financial services also, right?
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So, the technology workforce is growing beyond big tech. This is an interesting stat. Net technology employment has
Uh,
expanded significantly since 2019. So we went through the COVID and the pandemic thing, and coming out of it because of the AI transformation, the digital transformation that many firms are undertaking right now.
yeah.
We have a larger pool of IT and digital talent than we had before the pandemic started. And much of the growth is not happening inside big tech firms anymore. It's happening, as I just stated, in manufacturing, healthcare, financial services, munis, associations, And the mid-market is really starting to get traction there.
So really the way to look at this, if you can spin this in a positive light, which is what I'm hearing, because these employees all worked in these great big tech companies. There's a shift that might be painful for some of them, and we understand that. But overall, from a macro level, now this talent is shifting to the mid-market, all these different sub-markets. And if you look at the economy, that's where we start to grow.
That's why we haven't gotten into negative numbers yet in the BLS. But then it goes back to the two-track employment market. So
Yeah.
when I say two tracks, the entry level and the repetitive technology hiring has become a two-track market. The market is not equally strong for all types of talent, of course, as
Yeah.
we've seen with entry-level positions have faced pressure from corporate right sizing, automation, AI efficiency, and then anything that's repeatable can be business processed out into just an automation. That going on, and then there's hyper specialization in other areas, i.e., AI and machine learning, cybersecurity, cloud and infrastructure, data engineering and analytics, and of course, the ERP world.
So I hear what you're saying and talked about digital transformation. Tell us about AI is the hot topic, and AI and digital transformation, they're all tied together. What's the impact of AI on all this?
The impact of AI is, I think, twofold.
Yeah.
One is it's slowing down hiring at some levels because organizations are trying to figure out how do we improve our business process? How can we make our organizations more efficient and not hire? And then at the same time, there's demand for specialized talent that can help them get to those goals of becoming more efficient, having better business process, and then creating that elusive, frictionless experience for their clients.
So the people that are in demand now are both the people that understand the business processes and the business issues. And the other part of that is the people that can then lead or utilize the AI to automate as much of these business processes. So this is the true digital transformation.
Yeah.
AI is really creating a new renaissance of digital transformation. That's what I've been hearing this from many people, by the way.
Yeah, it's one part of that puzzle.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And it totally makes sense. Now let's talk about another issue. What are we talking about? There's two sides to every coin. We grow, we have more digital transformation, we have more AI. Cybersecurity never seems to slow down. I've been doing this for many years. It's never slowing down. It seems like it's always getting more important. And with AI and all this new digital transformation that's occurring, what's your take on, from a hiring and recruiting standpoint, of what's going on in cybersecurity?
Yeah, so we're seeing demand in that space as well with cybersecurity analysts. That is a steady drumbeat of hiring.
Yeah.
Because I was with a CISO yesterday at lunch, and he was just saying that it's not if you will be compromised, it's when.
Yeah, it's when.
How quickly you can figure out that the bad guys are in your environment. And sad to say, but that is why there's such demand in that space. And as you layer on AI automation, both from the good guy perspective and the bad guy perspective, it's a continual race that's not going to stop.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for a while. They're already in everywhere. The question is, what are they going to do about it?
Yeah. So I think in the cyber world, as I to different CISOs, it's you can pay me now or you can pay me later. You got to invest in that part of your business so that you can protect systems, to build that moat around your company to enable data privacy, data governance, and all those things.
Yeah, totally makes sense. So as we start to close it out, we got our technology leaders and tech business leaders and industry and business leaders who watch these shows. What does this mean for leaders out there, especially the hiring leaders that are out there? What does all this mean?
So, Alex, what this means for hiring leaders, companies that will win the tech talent market will not simply just post more jobs or chase more resumes, because God knows with AI, there's a lot more fake profiles and fake resumes. Companies are going to win the tech hiring market in the next year to 2 years are the ones who truly define what business problem they're trying to solve, and then reverse engineer that into what type of talent are we going to need to hire to get there.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we always talk to our clients about this. What are your must-have technologies and experience versus your nice-to-have?
Yeah.
Because technology moves so fast
Mhm.
that the person that you hire in the last 6 months, if they don't have the adaptability and the ability to grow with the organization as well as learn new technologies, that's a bad hire.
Yeah.
So at the core, you're looking for someone who is complex problem solving skills, adaptable, clear communication. And if they have those three baselines, you've got the building blocks for a great employee and then ultimately building a great team for yourself and
That's
your
really-
organization.
That's a really interesting insight. I mean, we've been hearing, and you were at our conference recently, where the CIO, CTOs, CDOs, they said to us at that conference that they're really being pushed to create this digital transformation leveraging AI. And the smart ones, they're all smart. The ones that have already had successful projects were saying, you got to hold your ground and you got to make sure you're solving business issues. And what you just did was added to that and said, along the way, you need people that can come into the organization and actually understand those business issues and then transfer that to the project. And that's the type of talent that you should be looking for right now, because that makes a lot of sense, because we get a lot of people to code,
Right.
and we get a lot of people excited about technology. That's not what this is needed. It's about understanding what the right business processes should be, right?
Yep.
And then translating that into the digital transformation. So it's right on with what you're saying.
I would say you've got the digital transformation and then you've got
Yeah.
career transformation, two blended paths. And the individuals who have the ability to, again, complex problem solving, solid communication skills, the ability to adapt and grow with the organization, those are the ones that are going to move the needle for you as a hiring manager and your organization, because the technology is going to continue to move and it's going to move faster and
Yeah.
faster. So adaptability is the key.
So adaptability, the ability to understand those business processes, this helps even the people watching that are looking to get hired.
Yeah.
If you're going to take another course or workshop or something on LinkedIn and LinkedIn Learning, take something around these topics, right? Get
Yeah.
a certification on business process automation or understanding the business, in addition to your AI certifications that everybody's beefing up on. So this is really very helpful to everybody that's on both sides of the coin. So to wrap it up, what would be your closing takeaway that you'd like to summarize this with?
Yeah, with the noise of the layoffs, it doesn't mean that it's a wide open talent pool. It's
Yeah.
still a very competitive market for the best talent. The tech talent market is not shrinking, it's just changing. It's changing quickly with all the inputs that are happening right now in the macro economy. And at the end of the day, good talent's hard to find, always has been, always will be. But
Yeah.
you have to align your hiring with business goals and then decide, do I need a direct hire resource? Do I need a contract resource? How am I going to solve this problem for my business? And that's where Sierra can come in and help you out with assessing what type of talent you need, how to approach it, contract or direct, and then solve your issue with hiring the right person.
Yeah, and I know just from talking to you so many times and talking to you offline, in fact, there's a couple videos we've already done about this, that you actually go in and take the time to understand the business issue and the business process that they're trying to resolve or change before you just throw bodies at them. That
Yeah.
you really help them with this process. So anybody who's watching this, Richard, if they say, we're starting to think about hiring, tell us what are some of the one or two steps that you would go through just as you meet them and start to work with them to identify the right type of talent.
So the first question is, what are you trying to solve? What is this, a business role? Is it a tech role? Is it a organizational type role? And then let's reverse engineer it out to, okay, in 6 or 12 months, what would this person have accomplished that would make you say, wow, that was a great hire? then we'll use that as the template to then begin creating a story that we can go to the market with in order to secure the best talent that's out there based upon your criteria.
Makes a lot of sense. And I know you've helped a lot of people, and I know you do it for your clients, but you also do this as you start to talk to people and just to help guide them the way they develop new relationships. So everybody, this has been Alex Jarett with Technology Executives Club and Richard Doran, who's the founder at Sierra ITS. Richard, thanks for taking your time today. We appreciate you giving everybody these up-to-date insights on what's going on in the tech talent world and how everybody watching should take advantage of it.
Great to be with you again, Alex.